All right, my name is Carlos Ortiz. Welcome back to Dear Charlie's Tips and Tricks on how to take care of yourself. Today we're going to be cleaning up Alex's neckline and around his ears as a maintenance between your haircuts. You can have maybe your girlfriend or wife or boyfriend or whoever help you with this process. So I have a couple tools that you're going to need. One is going to be a trimmer. It's pretty short, and a comb. In this case, I'm using an Andis trimmer, and I'm using a Barber comb. You can use any comb, but a Barber comb has a lot of benefits to it. I can leave a link in the description below to the Barber comb that I'm using. Really quickly, the main reason why a Barber comb is helpful is a couple of reasons. It goes from thin to thick, which allows you to kind of get closer to the head as needed. So I'll show you a little technique with that. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at the neckline that you're working with. In this case, he's got a collared shirt, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll that down. So we'll do that really quickly. So all you really wanna do is make sure that you're just cleaning up the area that has grown past the main line of the neck. In this case, he only has hair growing past this hairline, here and here. So those are the main areas we want to focus. This is just for you to be able to clean up in between your haircuts. He also has kind of a curly hairline in the corners here. So we don't want to create a harsh straight line. So in that case, you take your trimmers and you go in this angle up into it instead of digging straight into it like that, because that's gonna create a really hard, strong line. If you like that, definitely turn it this way and go straight into and draw the line with the trimmers. But if you like more of a natural finished hairline, or you have a hairline similar to his where it is curly and in which case it being really hard wouldn't work, then turn the trimmers the other direction and kind of move into it slowly down and up in that direction, okay? So I'm going up to the line and I'm kind of stopping, and I'm just going to take a second, pause, brush with my comb down to see what's happening. And if I need to flip my trimmers around and create a little bit cleaner of a line, in which case, because of these little hairs, I'm gonna do that a little bit. Make sure you pull the shirt down and get as low as you can. It'll make it a lot easier so he doesn't have all that extra hair there. We're gonna do the same thing on the other corner here. Before you do anything, brush down with your comb. Again, approach it in this angle instead of this angle, right up to the line. It's better to move a little bit slower, just in case, so you don't make any mistakes and you have a little bit more control. Brush down, see if there's any straggler hairs that you need to clean up. He's got a few. I'm gonna turn the trimmer around and just lightly touch that up. Same thing, brush down, lightly touch it up. What you don't want to do is you don't want to push this down and then trim, because the hair might then move in the natural direction it sits and it might raise up, and then you won't have a straight line. So just brush it down, let it sit how it naturally does, and then trim it up lightly. Then you move on to the sides. Here's the corner from which we created, cleaning this up. We're gonna keep that corner, and we're just gonna clean up these hairs here that just look a little bit messy. So we'll comb straight down, we'll take our trimmers at an angle, brush down, there's the corner, and follow it up. Just to lightly clean that up. You want to make sure you're careful and you don't go too far into the hairline, because what you're gonna then do is create a very narrow hairline. And if your guy has a really thick neck, it's gonna make his neck look thicker. If he has a very thin neck, and you wanna make sure that you cut even less off so that the hair kind of wraps around the neck a little bit, which will, when you see him from the back, it'll make his neck look a little bit wider versus a little bit more narrow. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. All right, again, I'm gonna comb straight down, comb to the side, and just see how it lays naturally. He doesn't have a lot of hair that grows here on the corners of his neck, so we wanna build some strength. Again, this is the corner that we're using. I'm gonna turn the trimmers sideways, and I'm going to just lightly tap and make that corner a little bit stronger. See, it just cleaned up that excess hair. Made it look like a little bit stronger of a corner. Again, you don't want to go too far into his hairline to try to get all that. You might risk messing it up, and again, creating a very narrow neck. So if you like it more of a rounder shape, then it's still good to create this corner and square, and then go in at an angle and lightly start taking out that corner. Just be careful as to how far in the hairline you're going when doing that. In this case, we're gonna keep it a little bit more on the square side. That way it keeps his neck looking pretty strong and full. So just a light little touch up. And that will help him last a little bit longer between his haircuts so his neck doesn't look as crazy. And then we're gonna move around the ears. This is pretty long here, so we're gonna brush it back in its natural direction. And then I'm gonna use his beard as a guide to kind of follow through, as a reference to follow through and just cut off that extra hair that's hanging over. And you'll see the difference of how that'll look. At an angle, hold it with both hands, follow the beard line, just move straight up, just like that. If you need to do it again, just clean it up more, just go back over it in the same manner. It's not a bad idea if he has some hairy ears to kind of go in there and lightly pass over it. This guy doesn't really have hairy ears, but sometimes there's a little bit of fuzz. Same thing with his ear, brush it down. Make sure you always brush to see what's happening, and just kind of go over it and trace the silhouette of the ear. Be careful not to go too high into it, because that'll create an issue. He doesn't have a lot of hair there, so we're just gonna lightly tap that. Just trace the ear with the trimmers, move the ear out of the way. And there you go. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Spin them around. You can see this little bit of overhang. I'm gonna follow the beard line up just to clear out that overhang that you see there. Again, I'm gonna pass over the ears just to make sure he doesn't have any extra hair. Continue to brush. Don't go too high into the hairline. And now this will carry him into his next haircut. And there you go. He wears his hair a little bit more textured, so it's okay that this is a little textured. It's totally fine.